Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to today's show. Excited to see us. This is Koshan and panelist, co-host. Please introduce yourselves, ladies.
Hey, this is Tavano. Good to be back with y'all. It's been a minute.
Hi, this is Nicole. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have everyone.
So we're going to jump right into this. Okay, Sonny, welcome. Ms. Shanta, welcome. Please grab a seat. We'd like to get some feedback from you all. So today we had a young man that he called. He said he doesn't feel comfortable with public speaking. But he said he and one of his friends, they were just, talking about some things in general. And one thing that he said was he talked about when he was younger, you know, living with his mom, street peddling, selling a little bit of drugs here and there, just enough for some outfits and buying drinks at the bar, right? But nothing established. A lot of people think he had a car, but he kept saying he lived with his mom. Anyway, he's dating a young lady, and she was like, hey, I think I might be pregnant. He told her, hey, look, I'm not trying to say, hey, you need to have an abortion, but I'm not in a position to raise a child right now, and I would like to be in a better shape of what I'm in. Hey, I might have been fresh in my little outfit at the club, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't have a job. I live with my mom, and I'm in the street, peddling drugs. Because we all know all drug dealers aren't like money makers. Like they just make it enough to pay whoever's fronting the drugs, buy some Waffle House and outfit, and then they broke the next week. So the way he made it sound like that's the phase that he was in. So my question to you ladies, if a guy approaches you in that manner, somebody you kicking it with, y'all met at the club, y'all hanging out, killing each other, engage in that activity, and that's the conversation that he has with you. What's your response? Don't everybody go at once.
Oh, well.
I want to hear what you have to say.
That sounds, I don't understand why that's the conversation after. I don't understand why that's the conversation afterward. After the deed has already been done. What you didn't have that conversation clearly before. So now that there's a consequence, now somebody's supposed to feel sorry for what you don't got. Oh.
So would you, as a woman, in control of your choices in your body, with him telling you that, would you want to bring a child into that situation?
Oh, well, I wouldn't have even engaged to even get a child. So that would be a no for me.
Or a different situation, if a guy expresses that, hey, because just thinking back to younger days, right? eh, eh, Would you, is that a conversation buddy, before? I was just going back to college days, our early 20s. Even if a person didn't go to college, just thinking back to, younger days, we were all young and dumb. Do you think about, hey, what happens if you get pregnant? Is that a
Yeah,
conversation?
I had my first child at 20, so in college.
So you already knew we're going to be doing this. Hey,
We were very aware that was the potential outcome.
so what is your advice to this young man?
Stop,
And he's older now. He's
stop
older.
doing that.
He's in his 40s now. He's older now. He's a father. You know, house. He's established everything. He was just talking about in his younger days how terrified he was. He admitted, he said, man, when I'm at the club, I'm drinking and I'm, not thinking about that, right? Now, this is another thing that we segued into. And this crossed my mind, right? Is there an obligation to know a person's mental state before sexual activity?
I think
Do you
you
think?
should.
And I thought about that. I was actually, I work now in alternative settings, right? And we had some public safety officers come up to speak with me. So they were just asking me why I did certain things. And I explained to them that, we're governed by different rules when the kids are in school, and they are identified. But the challenge is once they graduate or leave school, they're no longer identified. So when a child is identified and we know that this has acceptable needs, right? Well, we know that the child has acceptable, we have to accommodate those needs, and they are identified. But when these kids get out in the streets, this child could be mentally retarded. We don't hold them responsible for a lot of things in a school setting. But what happens when this same person that's mentally retarded, which a lot of adults are, but they go out to the club with one of their cousins, they dress nice, a couple of dollars in their pockets, they got their disability check flowing, and they engage with somebody. Do they still have the same responsibilities as someone sane? Or can the person that engaged with them be held responsible for something?
Well, my feedback to that is that if you know a person has an issue and you choose to engage in any activity, I don't think that they're responsible because they have a medical condition. You're pretty much the one responsible because you know better.
But the problem is, do we identify people in adulthood? Like kids are identified in school settings,
Well, if you,
but then once we're an adult, think about it. When you're an adult and you're out somewhere, you don't know the adults that were special needs children.
That's true. That's true.
So, and that's just something that I thought about. Like, who's responsible? Because people in that situation are really out making kids, maybe, having babies.
I had 3 babies with an ADHD one.
Don't do that.
And I knew better.
Stop it. We don't allow that. We're going to edit that out. We don't allow that. Stop that. Next person. About to mute her. No, I have to mute her. Tavano, what's your take on that? Tank, what's going on? Welcome.
I mean, I think this is the result of irresponsibility, honestly. I mean, I don't, that's all I hear is irresponsible, 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 irresponsible. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't, because situation with people that you don't know. I mean, and don't know anything about.
Right.
I mean,
But do we do background checks on folks when we run into adults in the streets?
No,
And
no.
and
And
I'm
nobody
glad.
don't need to lie and say they do. No, they don't.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
No, they
I had
don't.
somebody that one that
No,
was
I can believe Tavana would. I know Tavana
Absolutely.
personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
So,
would. She
absolutely.
would do some research and be like,
Absolutely.
hold on. Yeah, I found out my girl went to high school with him and he was in our class.
On day one, I need date of birth, full name.
You can pull up a criminal background, but you can't pull up no medical background on a person.
No. No.
What's going on, Gab?
No, you can't. But some
Everyone. Long time no here. Hi,
some
Deborah.
things do show up on your rap sheet.
Hey,
If
guys.
you have had a commitment, it shows up on your rap sheet. It absolutely does. Because that is something that the police have to come and do.
Have to be aware of, right?
That's right. So it absolutely does. If there's a voluntary or involuntary commitment, it shows up on a rap sheet. So,
and I'm just asking because I know a lot of people that I went to school with that were in special classes, right? And some were for behavior. Some of them was because of their behavior, but we also had some that had mental disabilities and no fault of their own. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of who they are. It's a disability. But we have some visible disabilities and some that are not visible. So everybody's not in a wheelchair. So we can't see what's wrong with them. But we have some people with developmental delays. Some have processing delays. But these individuals can look normal. They can interact with people in different environments. And I'm saying at these younger ages, man, when people are hanging out and they're partying at the club, hey, I got a cousin, I got a home girl, she's intoxicated, they hook up, and now you have this issue.
But that still goes back to irresponsibility. Like I still,
I get that. But should they be punished for life because you make a bad decision?
What do you mean punished for life? Is a baby
Because
a punishment
now
for life?
Yes, I think so. If you're bringing a child up in a situation, certain situations, that's a punishment.
Okay, so let me ask you this. How mentally, how much of a mental health issue? Now, here's just my take on it. I'm not a mental health expert or anything like that, right? But
Yeah.
from my understanding, there are levels to mental health, correct?
Right.
You have high functioning stuff and then you have some very low functioning stuff, right?
Right.
I don't think, and I could be wrong, but I don't think the low functioning people is at the club hooking up.
I
I
promise you
think
they
these
are.
are people. Okay, well,
Yeah.
okay. And when I'm talking about low functioning, I'm talking about
I'm talking
can't do
low
for
function.
themselves. I'm talking about can't
Well,
do for themselves. Can't like what exactly?
I mean, like processing delays. They will never have the capacity to write a paragraph. They have limits. They
Right.
have a lot of limits. Yeah, and I'm telling you, like firsthand,
And this is so maybe because I'm just I know and I'm
and we were sharing like people we knew
so
that are
those
in that
you're saying to me that
situation,
those
and they
people that
made
are in
kids,
those situations
have made
are
babies. Yes,
out at the club
yes.
and
But with their
they're
boys, with a
functioning.
cousin,
So they're functioning. So what were they not talking? Because if you can't string together a paragraph, how are you going to hold a conversation with me?
see, it's different when you're out at the club and this person got some money. You know, these guys getting a disability. And then we
Oh,
were talking about this, getting a disability check. This guy got, you know, going to the club with $800-900, right?
oh, bow out
Everybody's
of the
hooking
point
up.
because
Everybody's
I
hooking
can't.
up. No, I didn't know. You don't have to relate to it, but just
I
analyze.
can't. I can't because that doesn't make. I can't make my logical mind make that make any sense to me because there is no way that you could be that tremendously low functioning. And just because I saw you with some money, that all of us, that's crazy to me. You can't string together a paragraph, but I'm going to overlook all of that because you was at the club with a couple $100.
He
What?
dressed nice,
I,
looked
I ain't got it.
nice,
So like I said, I don't have that capacity. So I'm a
and,
bow out of this
and,
point.
Smelling like
and
Dr. Rap.
Nah.
So wait, what are we talking about today,
so we're
guys?
gonna for our late listeners. One of my boys, we talked about two things, right? And he was just talking about situations where you have a child with somebody, and one, if this person like openly said to you they don't have the financial means to support a child, right? And they don't
Okay.
think
You
you should
did
move
that
forward with having a child.
after,
So
not
now,
before.
but he's like, no, but his exact words were, "Man, you know I live with my mama. You picking me up from it like that." He was laughing about it, like because it happened like 20 plus years ago. He's like, "You know I live with my mama, and you come by to pick me up. Like I don't have a car, I don't have a house. Why would you want to bring a child into a situation like this, right?" That was the first thing, and the
Right.
second thing, Deborah, was because people with special needs are identified in school, but once they get into the real world and through adulthood, they're no longer identified. And I think that maybe the ADA, the American Disability, like someone should maybe have an identifying mark on a person's identification so that when they have an encounter with law enforcement or anybody, they know that because an officer will think, oh, this person's trying to get smart with, me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know, you have some people that are autistic that are high functioning. They're verbal, right?
Right.
They have processing delays. So you could ask them something and they'll repeat what you said to them. And
Right.
imagine an officer just assume that person's being a smart aleck. You know,
Right.
that whole exchange could become problematic. But my thing is, and I've seen this, not having to call names, but people that are low functioning, right? SPED students. But hey, they are attractive people. They're well groomed. They dress nice. They got money. Now they're out at the clubs. You're interacting. Hey, you have a good time with this person. And now you find yourself with a child with someone that's low functioning.
Right.
And Tavano was like, she's not even hooking up with a person that can't for a paragraph. But I'm just telling her it happens. And I respect that from her as well because she's selective with who she's going to engage with. You know,
Yes, I understand the same. I'm definitely not hooking up with someone who can't form a paragraph. 'Cause that's
but
That's
insane.
weird to me.
do we know that while they're at the club?
Yes, because even at the club, I need to have a conversation with you.
Correct.
Even
And that's
before
what I'm
I get you
saying.
home, we are having a
Absolutely.
conversation
What are the
to
limitations
some
like
extent.
that conversation
On the
in the
way to
club?
the house, we gonna be having a conversation.
But you don't know if that dude knows how to spell. You don't know if he can spell, what he got going on. You might be intoxicated. You know,
Listen, we gonna figure it out one way or the other. We gonna figure it out one way or the other.
Even if I don't figure it out on the way to the house, the last thing I'm doing is letting you shoot up my club at y'all know nothing. Like
100%. Like, I don't even know you to let you shoot up the club on that first night. Like, we're not doing that.
so this is what I don't really get. So I don't know.
it could have been protected and it broke. You know, but it probably
And me
protected
being
and it
me,
broke.
I'm not the type of person to meet somebody in a club and take them home because I don't know you. So probably I'm just a real suspicious type of person. You can't even come to you can't even know where I live until we locked in. I don't even want you to know where I stay. And I ain't going to your house either. 'Cause that's just me, right?
Right.
I've never met anyone in the club and went home and done this. Wow. Yeah, no,
I mean,
I've never done that. But
it
but
happened. It
going back
happened.
to the first subject though,
Yeah. The
my
first subject.
son's father, I met him in the club, right? But
Yeah.
we corresponded for, a while. Then we started hanging out. He was living with his mama. He had the whole bottom part of the house, the whole basement part of the house. It was like a little apartment. He was living with his mama. Was I planning to have a baby with someone who lived at home with their mama? No, right? But we were doing things. I got pregnant, maybe a year into our little
Dealing with him.
ifs that we would have.
Right.
I wound up getting pregnant, but he was a little younger than me also, but I'm not mad that I did that because he turned out to be a hell of a father. You get what I'm saying? He had a great family unit that he came from, and now he's a great dad, and you know what I'm saying, out on his own. But when I first met him and when Carter was born, yeah, no, he was still living at home with his mama. Cause when I told him it was time for him to go, I was like, call your mama, tell her to come pick up you and your totes and take you back to her house. And you can't be here no more. You know what I'm
So you had no problem.
saying? So I mean, I did it, but did I plan to do it? No. But did it happen? Yes. And did I luck up in the situation? Yes. But is that everyone's story? Hell to the
No.
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 So, it's just, if you're going to plan it, I don't think anyone would plan to have a baby with someone who they know is not capable of even taking care of
You do it every day.
themselves. I see it every day, right? But I don't understand the logic behind it, but I see it every day. I see it all the time. The same way I see people going to the club, hooking up, and I've seen the uh like Koshan said, I've seen, some people in the club, you got hella money, you know what I'm saying, but you have a disability, but because you got hella money and you cute, they gonna go.
Exactly. Exactly.
They
It
gonna
happens.
go.
It
And and
happens.
and, and I understand where Tavana's coming from because that's just not something that we do, right? But there's so many more
Listen,
out there that
I see this
does do.
happens all the time, because I have close friends that were low function. I have close friends that were SPED students, but they were attractive men. They got money, and shoot, I got one of them that got 15 kids.
Uh.
He had money,
Stop talking about me, man.
curly hair, and resources, right? And he knew how to
Wow.
talk to women. He knew how to talk to women. Like, hey, look, you know, another partner, God bless his soul, makes six. He wasn't a sped student, but I'm saying he used to, whenever we would hang out, his line was, hey, look, you got something that I want. I think I got something that you might want. You tell me what it's going to cost.
Oh wow.
That's what he did. It worked. Women like, look here, we're going to do whatever. 10, 20, 30 minutes. He willing to drop 500 or better. And
I mean, I don't know. Back in my day, I don't know. I can't say what I wouldn't have done back in the
exactly.
those days, but
All right, y'all.
especially in
Pull up
that,
at church.
retrospect, who knows? But it
All
just
right,
is.
Tank.
I don't know. Even back then, I wasn't on that type of tip. Like, you can't offer me money to do nothing.
Well, I know a lot of
You
people
know what I'm
folded.
saying? But yeah, a lot of people will fold. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
To
But if
offer
you catch me on the right
$500,
night and I don't, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
nobody's
I
gonna
don't
know
know. If
about
I
it.
was on the right drugs on the right night, you just might have got lucky. Who knows?
I've seen a lot. I've seen him get lucky a lot. So again, now we're in these situations, but and I'm thinking back to the child with disabilities, how it all goes out the window at a certain point in some instances. Because now if a mother calls you and say, "Hey, your daughter slept with my son, but I don't know if she's aware, my son has a mental disability. He gets a check every month. So I know your daughter's pregnant, but we can't do anything for this baby." And with certain disabilities, they're exempt from child support under certain types of disabilities.
Mm,
Yeah, they're exempt from that. And I'm like, man, nobody knows. And I think about the victim. Personally, I think that our level of sympathy changes based on the sex of the victim. Because if a man had sex with a mentally retarded girl, we would demonize and criminalize that act, right?
right,
But the woman having a baby for a low functioning man or mentally retarded man, nobody's throwing her in jail.
right.
So just it's sexually biased in itself. The way we look at one is going to be demonized, the other one becomes a victim immediately. Um,
Right.
and that was just something that we talked about. And I was like, you know what? I want to ask the panel how they feel about something like that. And if it's something you ever thought about. Oh, Tank said he's headed to church, y'all. He gonna hit us up after church.
Okay. Church on a Friday night, boy. I don't miss them days.
Hey, but aside from
We
that,
used to be forced to do it. So I don't, it used to be a forced type of issue back in the day.
so
But
other
yeah,
than that,
that's crazy. A lot of people are doing that. A lot of people are functioning below level. Like, but if you text me and your spelling is off, that's the turn off. So if you can't spell right, then we probably ain't gonna make it that far anyway.
see, we blessed nowadays, but let's go back. In the late 90s, early 2000s, we didn't have texting.
Where we ain't have technology, right? And you just didn't know.
You didn't know.
But that's where it came into, like, really into, but we also had to really interact with people at that time. We actually had to, like, get in the thick of it with people at that time. So, if you took a little bit of time before you just hopped in the bed with someone, then you would be able to decipher whether or not this was somebody that you want to really,
Procreate with.
intertwine, yeah, procreate with, or even, what I'm saying, go that far as to let them shoot up the club. Like,
In an ideal world, yes, that's so true. But in the real world, how many people are out there hooking up at the club in one night? Or somebody's taking one for the team. Your girl, you and Tavana hanging together. Tavana has her man, and she's like, he's bringing his cousin with me, girl. I just need you to, show him a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like you owe her one.
we're gonna sit down and we're gonna watch a lot of shows and we're gonna have a good time. Because unless it's one of those type of things where I'm attracted to him and,
Right. And I
what
was
I'm
just
saying,
about to say, now he
we
shows up.
concentrate for a minute and
This dude is extremely handsome. He's 6'4", muscular, nice and good, nice car thing. And y'all hook up and you find
I might
later
take one for the
on,
team, but I ain't got to see you afterwards.
right? Now the condom break. Now the condom
Oh
break.
no. Oh no.
And you find out that his class was in a trailer in one room all day.
Well, some states still do abortions in some states. No.
See? See? But now we're going to bring it back to what we talked about in the past. Will men ever have a say on an abortion?
Not unless somebody pass a law. I mean, I think they should, but I don't think they do. Like, that was considered for me for Carter. But I also, like, I talked to his dad about it first. I didn't just go make a decision. I asked his dad, like, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? What do you want to do? Like, how do you know what I'm saying? Like, but I think there's a lot of like no decision making going on, right? Like, does a woman get a say before you make the decision to take the condom off and just bust? Did she get a decision? Because that happened. Do a woman? You see what I'm saying? So you can go through a gamut of I didn't get a decision. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to stuff like this, you just gonna be some things on the woman's end where it's gonna be like she didn't get a decision. It's gonna be a lot
But
of things on the
she
men.
still gets to make the decision after
But it doesn't matter. After, why does she have to make a decision about something she didn't have a choice in the beginning?
because she still has a way out. The guy has no way out. She still can say, you know what?
You're missing my point.
He
He still
snuck me.
it right. So what I'm saying is,
But she has the decision to say, I don't want this child. I can abort it.
but what I'm saying is, why should she have to put her body through that when you made a decision for her? Do you see what I'm
Or
saying? I'm talking about on the front end.
what was done was wrong, but I'm saying that she still has the ability to make a decision. The guy,
I
even if it
understand that
broke on
part,
him,
but
the
you're
condom
talking
breaks on
about
him,
what?
he's
But
stuck.
you're talking about something that happens on the back end. I'm talking about there are things on the front end as well that are dishonest, that are not talked about, that decisions are being taken away from each other. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it's just a matter of everybody being honest and everybody being able to have certain conversations, because as a man, you don't get to just make those type of decisions mid stroke and the woman has no say so. You see what I'm saying? That's absolutely wrong to
Unfair,
do,
right?
right? It is equally unfair for a woman to say, "Oh, well, I don't care what you think. I'm keeping it," or I'm going. And on the flip side of that, it's not always keep it. It's some men are extremely upset about her making the decision to terminate, right? Because they wanted it. You see what I'm
They want
saying?
a child,
So
right?
it's right. So it's always, this is why it's so important up front to have certain conversations. And I get it. We've all been in things that was heat of the moment. We've all been in things that, you know what I'm saying? We probably been like, whoo, thank you God got me out of that one. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, that shouldn't be the most of your interactions. Most of them should be conscious decisions. You know what I'm saying? And to that, or with people that you had an opportunity to get to know, and you know what I'm saying, know something about first.
I thought about this from a lot of different avenues, and one other thing that crossed my mind was if a man makes a decision or gets a say in the decision, we don't even know if it's his child, really. You know the old saying, mama's babies, daddy's maybes. So imagine the guy saying, yeah, I want to abort, and that wasn't even his child.
That is absolutely fair. That can absolutely happen. And
So I,
this is where all of these type of things come in to play, because there's a lot of lying that goes on both sides. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of all of that. So yeah, you don't know. I mean, it's a little easier now, with modern day technology. You can
technology, right.
get those type of things done quickly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, how
You don't
early?
have
I
to wait.
wonder, I have to research that. How
You
early
can do
can it?
it. You can do it 3 to 6 months.
But,
You
and
can
if
you
it's
can
not,
early DNA.
okay.
Hmm.
I just
Koshan,
wondered how that worked. Yes,
um,
ma'am.
Yeah,
my daughter had a blood test when she was pregnant.
yeah. You can do
Okay.
it. Yeah, you can do it while you're.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
about. Yeah.
That's good stuff. Terry, what's going on, Terry? They're waiting on you in here, man. What's up? And I know Terry's coaching, y'all. He coached football. Football season's over, so he should be able to join in tonight.
Yeah. I mean, I hate that there's not. I mean, I can't really relate because I've never had that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a conversation with my former spouse at 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? To say, hey, there's a baby, went to the clinic. What are what do you think? What do you want to do? And there was no hesitation, right? It was like, oh, we're having a baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was just, I didn't have any of those issues where I
And
felt
you know he's
shame.
high
I felt,
functioning. The situation, I don't care, and again, we can joke, but your situation was different. You met this guy in college
Mhm,
at the flagship university in your state. So, to
absolutely.
just be there, he was not a low functioning person.
No, he was definitely low functioning. He just
Don't do
was.
that.
No,
Let
no,
me
no, no,
mute
no,
you.
no, 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 no,
Let me
no,
mute you
no. I
now.
wasn't
You ain't gonna
talking
do
about,
that.
no. I'm not talking
Oh,
about in terms of
I was
ain't
ability,
gonna
no
say, I'm
right?
sick of you, Tavana.
No,
right.
right? There was, and I can honestly say that I was probably low functioning in some areas at 20. You know what I'm saying? So
Right, right,
there was
right. Gotcha.
definitely some deficiencies in us both. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
At that
right.
age. But we made the conscious decision that this is okay. This is what we put ourselves in this situation. So this is what we're going to do. You know what I'm saying? And so it just was what it was. I didn't have those type of things. So I don't, but I don't, so I can't really relate to someone who says, oh, well, I didn't know that this person had this issue and that issue. And you know what I'm saying? Because again, I didn't just, we were dating over a year before I got, you know what I'm saying? Pregnant. So yeah, I don't know. I don't, I can see how it happened, but on the other side, I really don't understand how it happened. Cause like, how do you allow that? Or how do you not,
Just
I don't know.
people,
How are
running in
you
different
sleeping
circles.
with someone? How are you sleeping with someone that you know absolutely nothing about? You're not trying to get to know nothing about them. You're not asking no questions. You're not, you know what I'm saying? That's just, mm. But I'm not, I know it happens because I've seen it happen. You know what I'm saying? But I think
Right,
that's just kind of sad.
that it does.
Yeah, I definitely think at in this day and age, back in the day is a different story, but in this day and age, like you really got to be doing your due diligence for yourself. You know what I'm saying? More than anything.
Absolutely.
Um,
It's not
that
that but lies and audacity.
happens, but like I don't know. Even sometimes I see all these different stories, all these different scenarios and stuff, and I just be looking at it like, why? Like even today, like just as an example, I called my cousin because he's supposed to be sending me something from down in South Florida. So I call him and I'm like, the phone answered and then it hung up. So I called right back. And when I called back, it was a stupid little girl on his phone talking about, I ain't gonna say everything she said because we can't cuss on here. But she was like,
Correct.
I'm with him right now, B. When she said, she was like, I'm with him right now, B. Like, get off his line. Like, I don't know what you trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, where the F is my cousin? Like, and she like, cousin my ass, cause you know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
Language.
and then I heard a wrestle, like he had to wrestle her for the phone, right? And then he gets on the line and I'm like what the F? Like, cousin, like, why are you even dealing with somebody that's even doing that type of ignorant stuff? To me, she's low functioning. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what are you doing? Why are you
And
even entertaining someone who does ignorant stuff like this?
a lot of men don't
I could have
run
been like a business.
academic
I could have
background
been your
checks.
job.
Right, that's true. But a lot of men don't conduct academic background checks before they sleep with women. You see what you like what you see, and they holler at her. One thing leads to another because I mean we're different for the most part, but a lot of people just, hey, what I like, I'm talking to her. Now you done messed around and made a baby with this person, or at least engaged in intercourse with this person, and then you realize that they think that 4 times 8 is green. Now you're stuck, you know.
You said 4 to 8 is green.
Wait, why am I over
Hey,
here dying like four
That
times?
is crazy. That is crazy work to
Hilarious.
even say.
and
Oh,
I see, and I mean, me working in education, some things I can't share specifically, but with the use of a moniker, just talking about scenarios. There are things that you would not believe. And again, these people are attractive people,
Mm-hmm.
men and women, very attractive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember several years ago, a SPED teacher and I were still good friends. We talked about this, and she was like, I'm so afraid for this girl when she gets out of society. I said, what do you mean? She said she is so low functioning, but she is gorgeous. She is beautiful. She's tall, green eyes, beautiful skin, beautiful hair, bang body. And she's 17 and she's on a first grade level. She has processing delays, but she is so gorgeous that men will approach her. They're going to approach her. And in the club, nobody's having spelling bees in the club. And I think that, I mean, you're taking advantage of that person. And they don't have the mental capacity. And again, we talk about responsibility because, okay, if they don't have the mental capacity, then why are they out at the clubs or why are they out like that? But it happens. And I thought about that, and it's, it goes both ways because a lot of guys are low functioning, but they got money, they got a nice car, looking good, smelling good, and they're throwing the money. They have what these women want or need, and she has what he wants or needs, and then babies come about. So Terry, that's what we've been discussing, man. What's your take on this situation?
Oh man, I just kind of popped the ankle, so I can't really say too much. But as far as low functioning men and women, it's definitely a problem. Like you said, men see women and it's what they see. Men are
Mm-hmm.
visual creatures. So, if it looks good, they want a piece of it.
Right.
But everything that glitters ain't gold. So, in my opinion, I don't, young men don't ask those questions.
Right.
Young men is not, they're not concerned with that.
Older men don't either.
I tell you,
Oh, the
I
old
really,
man just trying to have a good time.
the old man, the more
Right,
mature
but
men
the
around our
middle-aged
age,
men still ain't asking a lot of those questions either. Trust
I do,
me.
I do.
You
I
do. But there's a plethora of them out there that don't.
Well,
right.
those are the men that, if they're not really looking for a significant other, they're just looking for a good time. So those ones that are looking for good times, if you bet a man that's looking for a good time, he's not going to be that man you need if a woman ends up bearing a child. You understand what I'm saying? So, everybody has to be careful on both sides.
Yeah,
And
it's a touchy situation because you cannot set a limit. You can't even say, well, they shouldn't be able to do X, Y, or Z because now you get into eugenics,
right,
which is morally wrong because now it's like, okay, what? You got to have a IQ above 100 to have sex, and if you don't have a numeric value, then that means that anybody should be open to it. But if people cannot process and make decisions on their own, then I don't know. That's something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. Just observing different kids, like man, and because these are non-visible disabilities, people won't know.
right.
But and just getting caught up, man. How's everybody been? What's been going? Oh, Tavana, we want to give Tavana a special shout out for everybody that's listening. And Tavana, tell them about your business. How can they reach you?
Need Amelia. We're a D9 sorority fraternity store in Columbia, South Carolina. You can reach us online at neednelia.com.
Neednelia.com, everybody. She has everything that you could possibly want or need. And if she doesn't have it, she can get it for you. Remember that. Need Alia. With Columbia, she'll ship it to wherever you are. So Nicole, Deborah, Terry, how's things been going, man?
Man, everything.
Yeah, give me a second. I'll answer last. I'm in the store.
Okay.
Everything's good, man. I can't complain, man. Everything's as well as could be expected, man.
Okay. As we were getting prepared for the season, everyone.
Yes, 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 yes. Hey, let me jump back a second, Cole.
Uh,
I know on a previous episode, and
yeah.
I know it was Deborah. It's kind of related to what we're talking about today. I'm pretty sure it was Deborah, and she was like, we always running into men out here, and you're trying to figure out if the man, what the man really want,
What was she saying?
huh?
She said she wants to figure out what the man really wants.
Yeah, what a man really wants. They say a man always play games with them, or something of that nature. When she comes in, I'm pretty sure she'll tell us exactly
Oh,
what
right,
it
right,
is.
right.
But
And I remember some of that. And Tavano
yeah,
was like, we just talked about being honest. Why everybody just needs to be honest.
right,
And
right.
don't take
But
those trophies away.
yeah, but she was. I think she was also saying what the dilemma was is they can't get a man to be honest. So and it's something that I thought about, man. That's really on my mind. Why you can't get a man to be honest? Well,
Why do
one
you
thing
think?
for one thing that I think women need to do is lie to the man. For example,
What?
Yeah,
listen to me now. Listen
yeah,
to
you
me
got
now.
me on this one.
Women always tell the truth, exactly what they want, pretty much. Look, I just want to be friends. I'm looking for marriage. You know, but the guy's not on the actual level, right? He's not. That's not what he's trying to do. But he's trying to get your skin. So he'll kind of play along with you until he get it. Then he's out of there. So if a woman is getting to know a man and she says, look, this is what they should do. They say, look, I needed you to sit down and have a conversation with me because I really need to figure out, what we're doing or where we're going. When I say a woman should lie to their man, for this instance, they should tell a man like, look, I think I just want to be friends. I'm just looking for a sex thing, and I need to know where you're at with that.
Oh, to get his response.
Just to get his response. He's going to tell you the truth. Two things you're going to find out. What he's actually looking for, and then you're going to find out how well he communicates. Because if you tell a man, look, I'm just looking for a sex partner, or I'm just trying to have fun right now, I don't want a relationship. 9 times out of 10, if that's exactly what he's looking for, he's going to be like, oh, shit, great, that's cool. That's right up my alley. That's what I was looking for too.
But what if he wants a relationship? You think he's gonna
That's the other part. When you
run the risk of looking lame?
if he knows how to communicate, he would actually tell that woman like, look, I hear what you said, but at this moment, I'm not looking for a sexual relationship. I'm looking for a wife. I'm looking for a real woman to have in my life. And then she could just say as simple as, I'm so glad to hear that because this was just a test.
Those are the conversations we should be able to have, right?
Right.
But the problem lies wherein when I say and I like the way she did that, right? But it's still like if I don't want to have to play games with you to get to see where your head is at, and I just really want to say, like, I'm looking for something long term, something stable that can lead to something long term. I don't, 9 times out of 10, the dude you talking to gonna say, yeah, me too. I am too. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wanna be in a relationship and I'm looking for somebody to hold me down, and you know what I'm saying? Even though he lying through his teeth.
Well,
But
that's
because
my point.
because you've already revealed what it is that you want to do, you get what I'm saying? He's gonna go for it. But why should I have to
But that's
play
my
with it?
point. But that's my point. Women would tell the truth, but a man will go along with what you said.
Right, right.
But I don't think
What?
that just doesn't sound like that doesn't sound like a fit. Like to replace, to, you want the truth, so lie? Like that's
Right, like I gotta lie at first to get you.
right. That's weird. Like,
Then I'm definitely not. I don't want to deal with you at that
thank you.
point.
Like what do I want with that?
But that goes back to my point. Well, if he's going to communicate, if he's a real communicator, he's going to say like, "Look, man, let's."
But he is, but he's reacting from a lie though. So
Right.
it's still not
So
truthful.
when you tell him the truth, he's still
You
going
should
to
be able to
he gonna
tell the
tell you.
truth from the
Because,
beginning.
but how do you know that?
I said you should tell the truth from the beginning.
When y'all women, y'all keep telling us that y'all meeting these guys that are you telling the guy what you want, and after you give up the skins, now he don't want to be bothered.
Oh, I ain't telling nobody that. I don't know who that. So you got to talk to y'all because that ain't my testimony. So I don't have that. So y'all I'm gonna bow out of this one too because anything I can't really, you know what I'm saying, I can't speak on. I ain't gonna talk about it. I don't know about that. So you're gonna have to go find y'all and then.
Cause I'm a slow burn. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I'm a slow burn when you getting to know me. There's nothing quick about me. You're probably gonna get frustrated with me more than anything. You know what I'm saying? Before you get anywhere. And so that's gonna let me know whether or not you can even be here in the first place. Cause if you frustrated with the fact that I'm not moving at your pace, that lets me know your mind is somewhere different than where you originally told me. You get what I'm saying? Because if you say you're looking for a serious relationship, oh, trust and believe that's going to get tested out. Okay. So then the fact that you know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to
That man probably dipped
know.
And
The
it
fact
don't
that
even
I
have to
haven't been
get, and it really don't even have to get tested out, Deborah, because if that's what he's saying he wants and he's serious
his
about that,
actions are going to
he's
show
gonna
it.
move. That's right. He gonna move like that off the rip. You ain't gonna have to prompt him
Really
or
question
none of
it.
that.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be there. You're gonna start seeing it. It's gonna be, hey, what you need? Well, I'm just calling to check on how's that. It's gonna be all of that. So if you're not
Right.
paying attention,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, then you're gonna miss some stuff. You know what I'm saying? But if you're really paying attention and and here's the key. Actions and words must align. The moment that they don't, there is the problem. So if you continue the very first time where the actions and the words do not align, if you go past that point, everything that happens after that is your fault. Because the
Right.
moment those actions and those words don't align, you should bow out gracefully. Period. And that's on both sides. If it's a man, a woman's actions and her words do not align, bow out, bro. If it's a woman, if her actions and her words don't align, sis, get out of there. But this is what we don't do. We allow people to say one thing and do another, or do one thing and say another, and we make excuses. Oh, well, it was because it is. Oh, nah, that's what it really is. Stop. When they waving the red flag, stop trying to make it green. It's red,
green or white.
you know? And that's what happens. You don't follow you roll right past the red flag. Oh, well, he probably only did that because why are you making excuses for it? The moment you got to start making excuses for why somebody's actions and their words didn't align, they go the problem right there.
But there's situations that may happen. Like Deborah, for instance, Deborah said, she's a slow burn. Well, Deborah, if you burning that slow and somebody else comes by and catches attention, well, obviously his actions are going to change. But would you blame him? Would you blame him for that?
I mean, because you should be dating. If you're dating, you can date. There's no exclusivity in dating. So you should
Right.
you should be doing that in the first place. So if she's a slow burn, that's fine. He could probably be talking to 2 or 3 more people, and maybe one burning medium, one burning slow, one be burning the hell out of him. Who knows? You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he's figuring it out.
Right. And I'm never going to be mad because if I'm moving too slow for you and somebody else comes along that's moving a little bit quicker and more at your pace and that's what you choose to go with, bye. What am I going to be mad about? You get what I'm saying? That just means you really wasn't for me. And maybe, right? Just maybe what you looking for, you're looking for a little bit quicker than I'm willing to give. You know, when you
And
talk
that's
about
what you
building a
have to be okay with.
foundation,
That's
right?
a
When you
lot of
talk
people
about
aren't
building
okay
a
with that.
foundation and really, trying to become stable with someone and really, learn the ins and outs of them, baby, that has to be a slow process. You can't rush that if you want it to be right, right? And I don't mean like I'm taking a year before we, get in the sack. And I don't mean like that, but when I say I'm a slow burn, like I don't open up right away, about everything to anyone. Like I don't really know you like that. I got to see, how we talked about that comfort level. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I got to see how you're going to handle my emotions. You know what I'm saying? How you're going to handle me in different situations. All of these things are going to matter. So if I'm talking about, looking for something long term, the way I'm moving is going to be cautious because I want to make sure that the person that I'm doing that with is actually aligning with where I see my vision going and see if my vision and his vision can join a path together.
Right.
And that's where people make the mistake, Deborah. If you're
Right.
you're a slow burn, you know
Never
you're
get
you're
there.
you know you a slow burn, and because he is a fast burn, you will change your slow burn to match his, and now you all messed up. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's where it goes wrong. And so
And I'm not.
that's where it goes wrong. And vice versa. The man could be the slow one. Maybe you getting the feeling at the end of the day,
Right.
these things should be there's a fluid conversation that has to continuously happen when you are in that stage. And if it's not happening, if tomorrow you felt like, hey, I went to bed and I woke up and I looked at this person today and I felt a little tingle that I didn't feel yesterday, then we need to discuss this little tingle.
Right.
I'm not about to
100%.
sit on that. I'm not about to sit on that. I'm
A
about to be like,
100%.
I felt this little tingle, so we need to talk about what that is, because you know what I'm saying. Because again, and it
And
again,
did you feel that
phase.
tingle? Do you have
That's
that
right.
same tingle? Like where we are?
There you go. Where every look, we need a weekly check in on status. Where what are we doing, right? Or it might even weekly might you might it whenever it comes. Every time there's a change, if the change is up or down, we should be having a conversation. If after 2 weeks, I'm like, dang, I'm really like feeling this person a little bit. They cool as hell. We talking all day, like because it don't take a whole day to recognize the sun is shining, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you know that you can tell, especially if you're having constant communication with a person, there's a lot of consistency there. You know what I'm saying? These things are going to be apparent pretty quick. You know what I'm saying? And so you're going to start addressing them. Hey, I actually like, if I didn't talk, I talked to you for 4 hours yesterday, but I only talked to you for 30 minutes today. And I actually kind of was like, dang, I, I wish I had talked to you more today. That need to be said.
Right. That
You see what I'm
vulnerability
saying?
that people are
Right.
so
Because
afraid to show
thank
because
you.
I don't know
Thank
if she
you.
feel the same way.
Correct.
I
It's
don't
not
want to be the
about that.
first one to say something. But if
No.
you don't say it, like if the vibe is really moving on that level, first of all, I don't stay on the phone with nobody for 4 hours.
Yeah.
So if you get a
Are you
4 hour
sure?
conversation out of me over the phone, baby, trust me, there's interest there.
Correct.
Mm.
Correct. And these are things that this is why it goes wrong, right? And this is a lot of why it goes wrong. And of course, back in the day, we didn't have this level of emotional intelligence. A lot of us did not. You know what I'm saying? And the wherewithal to be able to maneuver through certain things, right? Because we were still definitely probably stuck in a lot of what we were raised to do traditionally. You know what I'm saying? And so
Right.
now that we have come to these epiphanies of how we need to govern ourselves a little better, yeah, it makes a difference. And when you know better, you do better.
Right.
So
And
now at this point in my life, I don't have them type of issues at all. Like my cutoff is so I promise you, if you I like you, da, 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 I want to see, and then I don't hear from you for 2 weeks, oh, we gonna talk about.
We sure don't.
Words and actions did not
You
align.
talking about 2 weeks? If
That's
I don't hear from you for 4 days, baby, you
right.
got 4 days hot.
Thank you. But maybe that. But I'm just saying, because
Maybe
sometimes,
that,
they
because
come on back.
if the
I
reason
don't care.
that you give ain't good enough for you to have been
It ain't gonna
missing
be
for
no.
4
It ain't.
days,
It ain't gonna be nothing. Ain't gonna never be nothing good enough, because I don't care if your mama died. Text me and say my mama died and this is why I was MIA. Like, I don't want to hear it after 4 days, like, or 3. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I'm sorry for your loss, but I'm moving on. I've pushed on. You know what I'm
right?
saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to deal with inconsistency. I am not going
Right,
to deal with not communicating. I am not going to deal with that kind of stuff.
right,
And men should not deal with it either. Women always talk about later, but men it should be the same thing. You should not allow a woman to string you along. You should not allow her to puppet master you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because
right,
you have just as
100%.
many rights and privileges, and you know what I'm saying, as she do. It's not just about her.
Right, right. And I did. You know what's crazy? I had this guy ask me on a date, y'all. This man asked me on a date, set up the time. You know what I'm saying? Said he would choose the place and everything. Right? Day came, and we have been talking all the way up until this day. The day came. I'm on my way to the house. Okay. The day came. I didn't hear from him. Right? And I didn't call because you knew you set this date up with me. So I didn't call. I want to see how you move. Are you going to lead this situation the way you're supposed to since you set this up? I didn't hear from this man, right? I didn't hear from him that day. I didn't hear from him the next day. And so the day after that, he texted me and he was like, "What's up?" I said, "Absolutely nothing." I said, "I'm going to gracefully bow out of this situation because you set up a date with me. I set aside time for you. Mind you, I have a child. I set aside time for you, and then you were a no call, no show. Oh, my bad. My sister was in Cali. She had a baby, so I had to fly out real quick. So you set up a date with me, knew your sister was having a baby. Even if you didn't know she was going to go into labor, whatever happened, you couldn't have picked up like, I didn't say all of this, but this is what I'm thinking. Like, you couldn't have picked up the phone to say that. So I just politely text him back. And I said, well, congratulations, but I'm still going to bow out of this situation because that's not acceptable for me. Period, point blank. Like,
Because
ain't no way you set
it
up a
showed
whole
bad
date
communication already. Like, what are we doing?
already. Already. And it showed a lack of respect, just common courtesy. Like, it showed a lack of common courtesy. You're showing me that you don't respect my time. You're showing me that you don't respect me as a person because you couldn't have just common courtesy to let me know something. You get what I'm saying? I could have took my son out that night. We could have went and had a nice night out on the town. You know what I'm saying? At the gaming hall, whatever. But instead I had set that time aside for you, only for you to waste it. And you won't get another opportunity to do so. But you also have to be able to stand on that because if you go back on that, like Tavano said, everything that happens after that, that's on you. That's your fault. You got to deal with that. You got to handle that from there on out. Nicole, you mighty quiet.
My life is a little different, so I really, I really
She
can't
like, I'm
relate.
just staying quiet.
I really can't relate because I'm old school. 10, 15 years. I ain't been with 7 man yet, Deborah. So, I mean, a lot of these stuff is just like, it don't
I
make
mean, but
sense.
even if, but you're married, right, Nicole?
No, I was married.
You was married.
Yeah.
Okay. So even like dating nowadays, if you encounter a man with that type of lack of communication and inconsistency, are you going to move forward or no?
So, no, I don't. My toleration has become to zero. I mean, you said 4 days. I said 1 day.
Right.
Cause
Right. I mean, and 4 days was a
your
stretch.
phone ain't broke. I
4 days
mean,
was a stretch.
yeah, 4 days is a stretch for me. I mean, I done got it so bad. That's why I don't even, certain things I just don't speak on because it really works me up. I mean, I be hearing stuff on the podcast and it blows my mind because I see it. And the question is, we've gotten so more, I know, so intelligent from then to now to see some now still doing then? So
Right.
I'm so confused as to, I mean, do you not have goals for your life? Do you love a setback, or, I mean, just what is it? I just don't know with some people. And so it frustrates me more than anything. You know, I watch, I'm a person, I watch, I love action, because I feel like with a man, like I told my friend yesterday, he said, oh, you can't stop telling me I love you. You're in love with me. So I told him, I said, oftentimes for me, telling and listening is good to hear, but I function off the action, the time that you put in, the things that you go out of your way to do. I look at those things, but for you, it could be something different. And he's he's very reserved, doesn't ask for much, but still, he have told me many times, I like to hear you say that. Whereas with me, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Because if I'm seeing you 6 out of 7 days, I know you feeling it.
Right.
I know that there's love there, but then I can relate off that, and then but I can't do him the way that I expect him. He might not be looking for action. He might be looking for words. So
Right.
therefore, the communication and stuff like that is totally different. We get off sometime on some off the wall stuff, but I'm a hard female. I mean, I'm damn near like metal. It take a lot to milk me.
Girl.
And I
Girl.
think I've gotten that because of really my children's father and my husband. It's like a total of 28 years of my life. And I'm only 48. So how I feel. I'm like,
Ooh, sorry.
I'm down to
Right. Right. Like it's you definitely like, it's sad to say that you have to be, as women in this day and age, you have to hold a certain guard up when you're meeting these men because of all of the different experiences that we have had, when dealing with men. I want to be open and I want to be, soft and vulnerable and everything, but I can't give that to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm one of them type of people. I say what I mean what I say.
right.
And a lot of guys actually, like when a guy texts me, I miss you. That boils my blood because I'm not going to text you back, I miss you. I'm going to be like, well, what do you miss? You get what I'm saying? Like, what can you miss? Because you haven't experienced enough of me to miss me. So why do you miss me? You know
Yeah,
what I'm
it's
saying?
a
Why are you
situation.
saying things that you think I want to hear, but I really don't? Like, I don't want to hear it. Maybe the next woman does, but I don't.
Yeah. Certain things become corny. It's like it's corny.
Right,
Save it for
right,
somebody.
right. Like, direct that stuff somewhere else. I'm never going to tell anyone I love them if that's not truly how I feel. I'm
That's
not
right.
going to tell you I miss you if that's not truly how I feel.
I
Well,
totally
I'm not
agree.
what?
telling you nothing.
Well, but what if that's the way he communicates, or what if that's what he needs?
Well, I can understand that being what you need, but baby, if I seen you for 20 minutes when I met you at the grocery store, right? And we had a 5-minute conversation, we exchanged numbers, and then by the
That's
next
ludicrous.
day, I
That's
want to
ludicrous.
see you, I miss you. Then,
That's
yeah, but it's
that's
not. It's,
ludicrous. That's
it's not
ludicrous.
though. It's not ludicrous. It's not ludicrous.
He doesn't know anything about you to miss you. You just met him.
Exactly my point. And I'm that person that's going to come right back at you like, well, what do you miss? Because you don't know me enough, right? And I'm not even going to say you don't know me enough. The only word you're going to get is, what do you miss? Because I need you to elaborate. I need you to elaborate. I need to know what it is that you feel like you miss in these 24 hours that you haven't seen me when you just met me 24
That's
hours ago.
that's somebody just running game on you.
Right,
That's somebody running game.
right, right.
And somebody that you've been seeing, and you constantly talk to, or you constantly see, and then they're out of view. Then,
Yeah, that's different though.
if he texted you, says, I miss you, I would, at that point, I hope you will respond,
Yeah, that's different
No,
though.
I miss you
That's
too.
I'm
different.
not.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. If we're corresponding, right? I mean, like if it's a back and forth everyday type thing and we're seeing each other in between there and you tell me you miss me, then that's one thing, right? But if I haven't, like, let's say we correspond and then you fall off the face of the earth, like Nicole said, for a day or two, whatever, and then you come back, what you doing? I want to see you. I miss you. You didn't miss me for the last 2 days when I ain't heard from you. So what do you, again, what do you miss?
Absolutely.
What do you miss?
Now my
I
version of
agree.
myth is okay. He went out of town for like 4 days. And like I say, I see him 6 out of 7 days. So for you to text me, I miss you. Yeah, you damn well I miss you too because I'm used to seeing you.
Right, right,
I mean, you're communicating even though that you're not here. You're still calling. You're still texting. Is everything good? So yeah, I can appreciate that myth,
right. But it has to make sense.
but it has to make sense.
I
It
gotta
has
make
to make
sense.
sense.
Right.
It gotta make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't do the just saying whatever just to say it. I've never been that type of person and I can't start now. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not gonna start now. So I need to really know. You need to be communicating with me in a manner that lets me know that these words that you're saying, right, mean and show up with the same actions that you're coming with.
Right. Right.
I agree with that. I do agree, but I'm telling you, I don't think a lot of men, and again, I'm not a man. I can't speak for them, but I don't think that a lot of men realize that grown, mature women watch a man's action versus listening to what they say. I'm
Right,
telling you.
Wow.
right. And then
You can
let me
learn
take
so
it a
much.
step further. Let me take it a step further with you guys, right? Because I know Tavana and Nicole, y'all are definitely probably gonna understand this one, right? I'm not so like in my person to my core. I'm not the type of woman to deal with any man that is already attached in any way. You marry, you got a girl, whatever. I'm not dealing with that because for me that's just drama off top. That's just something I don't want to deal with, and I don't want to step on nobody else's toes. But that's me, right? So you know, I had a older gentleman, you know what I'm saying? Went to his car shop get my car fixed, you know, and I had been there a time or two before. He seen me, but he wasn't the one I dealt with. So now when I come this time, he speaks to me. We have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you're really beautiful. He was like, you should let me take care of you. And I was like, are you married? And he was like, I mean, yeah, I am, but you know what I'm saying? I can have something on the side. I was like, I don't come second to anyone. So I don't know what you could have on the side, but I wouldn't be it, right? He was like, but I'm saying it could be beneficial for you and for me. I was like, well, how would it be beneficial for me? Right? I need you to really relay this. How is it going to be beneficial for me? Because if you're already taken and you already have a woman at home who should be doing everything that you want, whether she is or not, this is the woman that you're committed to. So this is what you chose. What do you think I'm gonna bring to you outside of sex, right? And if that's what you're looking for me, and you want to take care of me, right? My bills is $5,000 a month. Not really, but this is what I said to him. My bills is $5,000 a month. So are you gonna really take care of me? Can you really take care of me and still take care of home? I mean, I can't give you 5,000, but I could pay. Well then you can't take care of me. So I don't even know why you're trying.
Big girl's rough, boy.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you got to make it make sense because what's coming out your mouth ain't what you intending to do.
Okay,
You're
so
telling me you want to take care of me so that you could get me roped up in your situation, but then you're going to offer me crumbs to be in that situation.
what if he
Now,
had
if that's
told you?
5,000 and I need it up front before we even go out on a date, if
So
you
what if
want to
he
take
told
care
you,
of me,
Dev, that he could give you the 5,000 plus more? What do you think your response would have been?
I still come second to no one. So I'm
Okay.
still not doing it.
Okay.
Get
I
me
just
caught up. What did I
was
miss?
really going to give the money, but I still come second to no one, especially not another woman. I will never put myself behind another woman.
Oh wow.
So under no circumstance would you be a
I'm gonna take the
mistress?
money. I'm gonna take the money.
You gonna?
Thank you, Savannah.
I'm not.
Thank you, Savannah.
Tavana
I'm
gonna
not.
get
I'm
it.
not.
Tavana
I'm
gonna get
not.
it. Mm.
Y'all already know I'm gonna take the money.
When you
Like,
say second to none, everybody's lifestyle has been so different, and people feel differently about different situations. I don't think because a person is married, whether it's female or male, dating a married person, I don't think you should consider yourself second.
and I don't.
Baby, if
I
you,
don't.
I mean, I don't consider myself second to nobody, but technically speaking, right? If I want your time today, but she gotta have it, where does that leave me? But you never know that, because a lot of the second to, when you think you're second, actually you be first. You just don't. It's just not documented. You got to be careful now.
Right. And I know that. And I
I'm
know
not my
that.
living witness,
I
but
know
if
that.
that's your preference, I would never convince somebody, because I used to be in that predicament to say, these are some dirty dog females. They know I'm married, such and such, and they having but my husband was having them. So it was never them. I've never approached anybody about my husband, right? But
Right.
then when I got out of my marriage and I got approached in a situation, it was never a lie. I mean, nothing was never a lie. I mean, I said I would never do it, and then it turned out like, woo, that's the best. That's better than marriage.
Right.
But I guess that was my preference,
Well, I didn't say never, because I'm one of those people who believes in never say never, because you never know what situation you may land in, right?
Yeah, I'm telling you, you can get with the right. I mean, like my daddy, he's a minister. And he asks me all the time. He said, "Daughter, I just know from your calls and our talk now, you're good mentally, you got peace." He said, "But I don't like your situation." He always tell me that. And I tell him, I said, "I'm not perfect. I meet these shit going on. It's going to go on, excuse me." And he said, "Yeah." He said, "But you know one thing, you're honest. You're honest about it." I said, "Yeah, because only God can judge me. You're a pastor delivering the word, but you're not God, because you've been a man as well. And your wife, my stepmom, tells me that in a 30-year marriage, she just started to enjoy you like 5 years ago. So where were you?"
Right.
I mean, I guess the different walks in life take you down different paths, and then you start to look at things differently.
And you do. I think you
Right.
do. And I agree with that. I can definitely remember times where it was, I ain't gonna ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hated it.
And
I
every,
hated woman.
and, every, and every never and never has come to pass. Okay.
Has come to pass,
And
right?
that's because at 17, that never, I meant that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But that
Mm-hmm.
never from 17.
Turn into
Sorry.
something different at 30.
That never at 17, baby, was different at 30. It was like, oh wow.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
It was right. You see what I'm saying? So, and same thing, that never at 30, at 45 is like, maybe I will. You see what I'm saying? And
Right.
so, and because again, my wants, my needs, all of that changes over time. And so you have to go with what is best for you at the time.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you don't
Right,
know
because like
what that
Nicole
is
said,
until the time is here.
if he say he could offer you that 5,000 plus more, and I know I'm out of work right now and I need to wait for these bills to get paid, that I ain't never will probably turn into real quick. What we doing? Okay. Where you want to go?
Okay. Right.
Some cheeks will get
You know what
clapped.
I'm saying? So I can understand that. I don't know that I ever say it, but I can understand it in that retrospect. Yeah, I think it's just a walk. So, never look at yourself as second. I ain't second to nobody. I ain't even comparing, because I didn't say you can't compare where you can't compete. So I ain't doing nothing. All I'm doing is trying to be happy. And by all means, whatever makes Nicole happy, I don't care how Like I tell you about my dad. I don't care how he feel. My mama might be feeling sometimes, but anybody can be feeling. But it's not about them because I've learned living. People will tell you one thing, but they're going to do what makes them happy at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
You will be miserable and she or he will be like, nah, that ain't right. And then the minute he drop his wife off, he going to pick up his girlfriend and you telling me something?
Right.
Like, get out of here. You know, or she going to drop her husband off. She going to the grocery store, but she riding in the backseat of her car. Really? So at the end of the day, you gotta make yourself happy. And there be some situations out there that you be like, dang, I never thought I would get into this, but it happened.
I'm enjoying this conversation for sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's real talk. I mean, it's real.
What about you guys? Have y'all found yourselves in a position where y'all wound up doing something y'all said y'all would never do or you wouldn't entertain or?
No.
Terry?
Said no.
Uh, I never said that.
Terry lying.
Nah, I never said that I wouldn't entertain a woman that was.
No, not that. She's not talking just about that. She's talking about in general. Was there
In
anything that
general.
you ever said no or never that you has come back to bite you or you participated in?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I have. Yeah. I won't
You ain't got to
elaborate too much
divulge it. You
on
don't want to.
it. Yeah, I won't
You
elaborate on
hesitating
it
a
too
little bit,
much.
Terry. You hesitating.
No, that I was debating whether I was going to talk about it or not, but no, I'll leave it alone. But I have indulged in something that I said I would never do, and it did bite me in the butt. Yeah, it did bite me. It did come back and bite me. So
I can't think of anything that I promised that I would not do and eventually did. I can't think of it, but my standards might have been low from the beginning. So, so I don't know. I can't say, I said I'll
So
never do
you was
X,
in a
Y,
low
Z.
vibrational mode in that moment, huh?
Yeah, but I know that as I got older, some things that I've done in the past that I decided that not to do. And one thing is when I was younger, I was dishonest. And as I grew older, I realized that is not even worth it.
right.
And honesty really is the best policy. So if
It
something
is.
happens, you can always say, hey, look, this is what the situation was. This is what I said. And I want to piggyback on something that Tavano said earlier. Now, I don't know about a weekly check-in, but I think like every 6 months, year, annually, you have to check in, right? Because when you meet a person, and I think back, it doesn't seem like it, but I met my wife 16 years ago. I'm not that same person. So the things that I liked, the things that I wanted, goals, all of those things have changed. So now, and I'm sure that she's changed in 16 years as well. You know, we've been through a lot of different things, so we're different people. And I think that it's only fair that people revisit, like Devon said, to make sure we still calibrated. Because,
Right.
the 32-year-old me and the 31-year-old her might have been compatible. But the 48 and 47-year-old us may be headed in different directions or, different goals, different desires. So you do have to make sure that you're still revisiting things and having those open and honest discussions.
I had a
Right. But
conversation with my son.
I think Savannah really meant like when she said, the weekly check-ins and things like that, like when you get to know somebody in the beginning, right? And you start to notice that you're developing some fit. It ain't you ain't gonna
Right,
wait 6 months down the line to have
right.
like you shouldn't. I'm not gonna say you ain't, but you shouldn't wait 6 months down the line to be able to say, you know, listen, I got a little tingle last night, you know what I'm saying, after our date, whatever. And, maybe my feelings, maybe something's brewing inside of me that I'm not so sure about. And I just want to check in and see where you at with things. You get what I'm saying? In the
Yeah,
beginning,
that's
it has
exactly
to be more
what I was.
frequent. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
Interested that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I
what's your
was talking
enemy
about at the beginning, but I have said that before. What Koshan said that those.
Yeah, she said it before. She was like, you gotta
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
recalibrate
That's what
because
I'm
we
saying.
change.
That's right. But that's what I'm saying. It should always, even from the very beginning, it should be a working document.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
It
Right.
should be something that's a work in progress from the beginning. Like if I meet you on Monday and we done talk all week for 2 weeks, every day it seems like for 2 weeks, I'm probably gonna be like, wait a minute now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what you know what I'm saying? I wanna talk about it. Like what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I wanna hear your take on it. Then if it's been 3-4 months and now we done already crossed some other steps, you know what I'm saying? Then okay, now we need to talk about that too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where we
What
at?
just
What's
happened?
something
We
correct?
yeah.
Right. So again, all of these things need to happen.
Right.
I was
And
going to say,
the length of time that it happens in really just depends on what stage you're in. You get what I'm saying?
And it depends on the two people because again, it could happen really quick. It could slow burn. You don't
Right.
know. You got to go with the flow and however it's flowing, talk about how it's flowing.
Right.
Gotta go with that chemistry.
Right.
Chemistry. If that chemistry is right, baby, it's on and popping.
And I know in the past I could have sabotaged some good stuff because it was moving too quick and it was flowing right and everything. But, sometimes as women, we have a tendency, and I'm not speaking for everybody. I won't do that. But, I'll say for me, I have a tendency to sometimes just really get in my head about like, how am I going to feel like internally about this after I do this. You know what I'm saying? Like this is moving so quick. Like I don't want to make this decision in this moment and then tomorrow not know how I'm going to feel about it. So now I just run away from it altogether. I'm not even touching it. I'm not doing it because I don't know how I'm going to feel in the morning. Like I know I have sabotaged the hell out of myself a lot of times because I'm an overthinker. You know what I'm saying? I overthink things. So I could think myself right out of a good thing if I allow myself to.
That's all good.
And Deborah, I used to be that way all the time, but I have gotten to a point where one of the biggest things that I have started to say is flow. That's a daily thing that I remind myself of every day. Just flow. Because I often slip back into that, right? I slip back into what you just said. Oh my God, what is going on? Is it too quick? Is it? No, just flow. If
Right,
you just flow and let it flow, it'll be fine. Because yeah, it can be scary, it can be weird, it can feel, you know what I'm saying? But
right,
just let it flow.
right. I'm learning, Tavana. Trust me. I'm learning. It's coming along. It's coming along.
And I can agree also because I thought I had like a chart on dating, time frames for everything. But you can't do that because no two person is alike. No two situation is alike. So again, I guess that'll be the word for the night. Let it flow. It's whatever happened. It's no time frame. It's just when you both feel the time is right.
Right,
Or if this is the person or if it's not the person. You'll know through communicating, and then go from one thing to the next. But pitting like a time stamp and so much stipulation, because it's nobody perfect. None of us are
right,
perfect. We want the best out of every situation. It don't.
and then from there, just know that if it doesn't work out, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
You know how to move forward without, you know what I'm saying, it being any type of melee or, you know what I'm saying, whatever, go on last, whatever.
Allow room for the adjustment. I mean, because a lot of times there's a lot of adjustment in marriages. I mean, you be with this person 15, 20 years sometime and adjustments is needed all the time. But are you willing to make the adjustment or the sacrifice or the give and take? That goes a lot with it too.
Right. I look at like people who've been married that long and I be like, I really truly, I wonder how. And it's not even a thing like, I don't wonder like,
it's not about like how can you like, be intimate with the same person for that long, right? But a lot of times I notice with myself when it comes to people, like I at some point I want something different. You know what I'm saying? Like I could deal with you for so long, but then at some point, like I want something different. And I don't want to be so tied to you in a manner in which that different means I got to split assets and kids and everything else. Like I just want it to be an easy go my separate way and go find what I want now in the next move. You know what I'm saying? And so I have to really like ask myself sometimes, like, even though I know, like I say, I'm looking for something long term, like, am I really? Like, is that really what I want? Like these are all questions that I'm asking myself a lot lately because I know, you know, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem being loyal. I never cheated on nobody, no nothing like that. But I also know that at some point I just really want something different. Like whether it's the state that I live in, the
But
people
you,
that I'm in.
it's very easy. You say that. That's all.
Right.
You make those intentions up front. You say that from the very, listen, I want this now, but I am prone to want something different. So I don't know when that difference is going to kick in. Are you willing to deal with that? Say that up front.
Exactly. Okay. All right. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Deborah, I'm gonna go back to something. As you all know, I'm from Hollywood, so we're from the little country. I've been around a bunch of older folks, and you talk about how these people have been in relationships so long, but I've come to learn that a lot of these relationships stayed together so long because she went out and did her, he went out and did him, and they come back together, and we still together.
Yeah.
And Koshan can relate to exactly what I'm saying. I mean, we know people 40 years, they might have 8 kids. 4 might be the husband, 4 might be the brother, 4 might be the cousin, but they're together.
They look at
And
a bigger
it
picture.
doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound legit, but that's what took place.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, their focus was different.
Everybody made themselves happy. You say you didn't like it. I'm sure a lot of them men and women felt the same way, but they used to always say, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. Does it make it right? No. But them 40-year, 30-year relationship, if the truth be told and they sit down with you and they tell you how they got over these years, it'll tear your ears up.
But
Yeah,
nobody's
because
perfect.
it's a lot of forgiveness. It's a lot of, lot goes into that. People have to realize that those type of relationships, people not married 30, 40 years because everything was great. You had to learn how to move through something.
And I see a lot of it is whereas males were males. Like a lot of women didn't go out and work. So the males was the provider. So that also had a big impact on relationships because if a woman, just say a woman decides, okay, my husband out here cheating, but my husband taking care of the household, you know what wins? My security blanket versus him cheating. And I know I can go out here and do the same thing if I choose to. Not to say everybody did it, but a lot of like older relationships, men's really took care of their home.
Right.
Yeah.
Women didn't work. So am I going to give up being a stay-home mom? I can cook, be home when my kids come home because you choose to do. As long as you take care of this house, we got groceries, no light don't turn off. You can do just whatever you want to do. It was a lot of sacrifice and submissive, back then. Now these women making all the money they want to make, and I'm one of them. I ain't taking no crap. So you can hit the door easy.
Right.
I'm gonna take a little bit of time because I want to keep my own money. I want to still see you. So I'm gonna take a little bit. I'm gonna take a little bit.
Who's at the party?
I
What
love
part of the
that.
party?
I can't with you. I
I'm
can't.
just being honest. I'm gonna take a little bit. I mean, my tolerance is pretty high. I can take.
Who's that? Tavana?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, do you really think I'm gonna like leave my nice house because you went and let what I did? I don't care about it. Like you paid, did the mortgage get paid?
Okay, that's my point.
Yeah, so I can take, let me change my statement. I can take a little bit if it makes sense. If there's a benefit in it, I can take it. But if there's no benefit or nothing in it, no, you need to go. I can do me, but I ain't leaving my house again because, hey, this is my house. If I was with somebody and the situation was different, I took a lot with my husband, but that was my husband and I took where I couldn't take no more.
Mm.
But a lot of people have taken a lot of mess. I know that the younger generation, these females just seem, they just seem,
I will say something else too that I think contributed to a
Different.
situation lasting longer.
we're not like them older folk.
I want to say this.
I feel like you can still like be
Well,
an independent woman, but you should still, along with that, be able to like know and understand how to care and nurture a household along with that. Even if you want to be independent and you want to, you know what I'm saying, do that, like know that you still like, you know, you still need a man around, baby. You know what I'm saying? In some retrospect.
Oh yeah. Cause I'm 48, baby, and just like I'm 18 again in some areas, but I do know I need one around, but I don't
Right.
need
Or two, or
every
three.
time.
Like, and not to say you need them around for any particular reason, right? But you want, and because you have needs, right? You need them around at some point. So, like, you know, the way a lot of women think about things, you know, and how quickly they will dismiss a man. You know what I'm
I,
saying?
I
Like,
want to say something. Right.
you steady dismissing every man because you think you got it like that, but you're the one sitting at home lonely all the time. Like you got to put up with a little bit of crap. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
I need him to know he's gonna have to put up with a little bit of crap too. Don't think the crap.
Right, cause I'm doing a
I'm a
little bit
lot.
of crap.
Right.
That's crap. My mouth.
Yeah, I'm
I
a
know
lot
I
over
got a
here.
mouth problem.
Yeah. So if you gonna take some of my crap, and I'm gonna take some of yours.
Yep.
100%.
Mm, okay.
And Terry, what you lean so much about?
Hmm? I'm just listening to
Terry
y'all.
said he
I mean,
learning a
like,
lot today.
yeah,
Can y'all hear me?
yeah, yeah.
Me too, Terry. I always learn a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Can
Yeah.
y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I get taught a lot. You know what I'm saying? I get preached to a lot, and it's, you know,
It's okay.
Can y'all hear me?
when you willing to learn, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can y'all hear me?
You have to always be teachable, baby. You can't never stop being teachable.
Yep. And you never know everything. So
No, what you say?
You're breaking up, Koshan.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, I didn't even know Koshan was trying to speak. Can y'all hear me?
yeah.
We can hear you fine.
Okay. Why you got to say it like that, Terry?
Now we can hear you fine. We can hear everything you say.
What about now? Can y'all hear me now?
Vaughn, yes,
Yeah, we can hear
we
you
can hear you
now.
now, Cole.
All right. One thing I wanted to say is, and it's my opinion, I think that all of the types of communication and social media also contributes because a lot of things people will tolerate today as long as no one else knows about it. But as soon as the stuff starts getting broadcasted and people know, then you're forced to make a decision and it becomes a problem. And no, I'm not putting up with that because everybody has that couldn't have been me friend that's always in their ear. Oh, that couldn't have been me. That couldn't have been me. When it a lot of times dealing with much more or even worse. But they always say, oh, it couldn't have been me, couldn't have been me. And now you're making decisions based on your emotions and what other people are saying. But we really could kind of like, I wouldn't say sweep it under the rug, but we could talk about it and move beyond that without all of those outside influences, you know, so that plays a major role too. Because people
And just
operated
care
in
about
their
what people
homes.
think too much.
If you care about what people think. In the past, people operated within their homes. Like we talked about, you didn't know what was going on. I got a partner that I saw at a game last night. He and his wife had 5 or 6 children. He was fine. I know he had suspicions because he has a unique look. and a couple of his kids look exactly like him. He let his mom and sister take the kids and get blood tested, and he found out that only 2 out of 5 are his.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Devastated him. 2 out of the
That's
5,
enough.
and 2 out of 5, and he was at the game supporting, his daughter, and the judge told him that, well, those kids were made during your marriage, so you're responsible for them.
True.
Yeah. He's legally
They are
their
community
parent.
property.
Family.
See how y'all laughing at this man?
No, I'm not laughing. No.
Tavana
And
is crying laughing.
this is why I say men should get a DNA test. I don't care how a woman feel about it. I don't care how bad she get. I feel like men should get a DNA test when their child is born. I wouldn't feel no type of way if you asked, because at the end of the day, I know what I'm doing. And if you need to put your mind at ease, then you go ahead and do that, baby. Married or not. I truly believe, I don't care what the situation, get a DNA test when any baby is born.
Yeah, but
Because you never know what people is out here doing.
I agree with that.
that happened to me with my middle child, and people ask me, how did I allow it to happen? I said, well, there's no doubt in my mind. I know me. So the best way to diffuse the situation, you give a person what they want, and once they get what they want, then you let their conscience guide them on the next journey. You want a blood test? You can have a blood test. Why would I feel some type of way knowing the person that I am, knowing who my child is for? Why would I even get upset? Because that's what he asked for?
Right. That's what I don't understand. Like, why women feel some type of way. Like, let them get it. If you know who you are to the core,
Yeah.
you know you ain't out here, you're not finna be embarrassed. Let them get the DNA test. It's not gonna hurt anything, and you ain't got to leave him because he asked for the DNA test.
No. I think it should be required because
I definitely think it should be required, because I don't think there should be any man out there that should be forced to take care of a child that's not his, whether he knew about it or not.
Yeah.
Unless if he knew about it and he made the conscious choice to, then that's one thing. But if he had no clue, I don't feel like he should be forced to take care of that child. Would it be morally correct to still take care of that child because you've been their father figure? And, if that's what you wanted to do, by all means, I support it. But if you also feel like you need to walk away, then I'm going to support that too. Because it's really whatever makes you happy at the end of the day. Whatever you need to do for you at the end of the day.
Yeah, because you got a lot of dishonest women out here doing what they want to do and know they living this lie, but they don't want to be corrected.
And they'll cry and everything and be lying.
Everything. It's easy, but I know it's easy for me if I want to put on a show. It's easy. I just think about something. I mean,
So, hey, that's an advantage that they
but that's
have.
a hurtful thing to somebody like that. That's hurtful.
Yeah, man. And you got 5 children and only 2. And
That's horrible. Like, my heart would be broken.
man, I felt so sorry for him. And she put him on child support, and the judge told him he has to pay for all 5 of those kids.
Oh my God.
Because
And
they
that's
were made
exactly what I
married.
mean. Community property.
See, if you property.
That's crazy. Like, that's absolutely insane.
That is. I wouldn't even want to buy money for a child. I know it's not his. Real.
Right. I don't
Do you
understand
think?
how you force that.
But think about
Even
this:
if he's
if this
telling you,
person,
like, I didn't know.
nah, if they're evil enough if they're evil enough to be doing what they did to make these kids with someone else, do you think that person really cares about his finances? Or even care about him?
No.
So she's going to drag him, man. I was, man, in such disbelief. And the guy said,
Is this recent, Koshan?
Yeah, we were at the basketball
Is
game
this a
last night.
recent thing?
Yes, 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 it is.
Oh wow.
He was at
How
his
old are the
daughter's
kids?
basketball game last night.
How old are the kids?
The daughter at the game last night is a senior in high school.
How old are the kids? All right,
They're
let's find out a
teenagers,
way. Almost.
right? She's a senior. That's his. And the
They're all
others,
teenagers.
no, they go down to like from 18 to 10, maybe something like that. I think between the ages of 18 and 10.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's rough.
I mean, it's plenty men out here that expect their wives to be nice to their side baby. So, I mean, you gotta, same principle.
I mean, but that's also like I said. So here's the thing: if was the oldest kid his Koshan or no?
I don't know the particular order. I
Okay,
don't know the
so
order.
you
Yeah.
don't know like exactly which one was the one that wasn't his. Okay,
The three of them
but
aren't his. Only two are his.
You good, AJ?
right, but I'm saying within the five, you don't know which three it is, right?
I know that the 18-year-old is, and one of the other ones. There's not like an order, I did
Okay, all
remember
right.
that.
So
Yeah.
so that's what I wanted to know, and I wanted to know that
Is
because
one daddy for the other three, or is it multiple daddies for
Yeah.
the
It's no. It's one daddy, and get this: the guy showed up at court with her.
oh wow,
Oh,
Yeah.
look.
So
oh
she with the
wow.
other guy now.
Well, he came to court.
But my point in asking that was, had he gotten the DNA test for every last one of them, like he should
Yeah,
have
he
done,
did. He did.
right?
He did. He
He
did.
wouldn't
Oh,
have,
you
he
mean
wouldn't
from the
have been in
beginning?
that situation as long as he was. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
From the first child, right? So the first
right.
child, he had the first child. Yep, that's mine. All right, cool. We rocking. Come the second child. Had you gotten that DNA test, right?
Oh, yeah. She would have
Had
known
you
then.
even asked
Yeah.
for it? Had you even
Right.
asked for it, she would have given herself away. So you wouldn't be 5 kids in paying all this money had you just done your due diligence as a man.
But not many
You
people
know what I'm
think about
saying?
that
Like
with
just
their
and I don't mean that in
wives.
no
I think
type
he
of way,
did due
but what
diligence.
I
I think
mean
he
is
trusted his wife. I mean, yeah, his wife.
right,
Yeah, a lot of people
but
don't
it
think
should
that way
just
when it comes to
be
a spouse.
logic. For me, in my mind, that's how I know it's not, right? But like that's how I think about it. Like it should be that men really thought about that type of stuff so that they don't find themselves in that situation. Because if you ask a girl for a DNA test and she flips on you 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna say every time. She might be flipping because how dare you, insinuate. But 9 times out of 10, she's gonna give herself away by her reaction to you even asking for the DNA test.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So she
Rick
So
started
it
acting
Carter,
should
crazy.
just
Rick
be
Carter, dishonest woman. I mean, when it comes down to that, and it's no cover up. It's no cover up. It's a bad outlook, and a lot of guys are actually stuck in predicaments because they are married. And it's one thing to be wanting to do it, but to have a judge to tell you you're obligated to do it, no, and that's not right. That's not right.
right.
Well, we're down to 60 seconds. Our final minute. We've done 2 hours. Closing remarks, you all. I want to thank you all again for a great show. Our listeners, thank you for joining us. Contributors,
This was a
what do y'all
great
want to
show.
say?
Thank you. Good to, talk to you guys again.
45
Happy,
seconds.
happy
Yeah.
holidays,
And happy
everybody.
holiday, Merry
Yes,
Christmas
happy
to
holidays,
everyone.
everyone.
Tavana, thank you. I know somebody got a party going on in the background.
I'm not about to run basketball game, but great show, guys.
We'll see you all next week. Well, actually, we might see you all over the break because I'm free. I got a lot of time and people have been calling in. So talk to you all later.